go. Go. Get in there.
Tornadoes just don't happen here.
The trailer picked up, my little boy screamed.
It's like an explosion.
Me and my brother, we flew together.
Center blocks just started flying in at me.
We went this way, my dad and my mom and my sister went another way.
I can hear people screaming, take cover, there's another one coming. And I'm thinking, we're dead.
From the Weather Channel, this is Storm Stories with meteorologist Jim Cantori.
November 2002. Rescue parties scour eastern Tennessee for missing persons. Over the past 30 hours, 14 twisters have turned the area into a virtual war zone. Mossy Grove, a rural community nestled in a valley 40 miles west of Knoxville, is the hardest hit. The town had never installed a warning system, and its 200 residents gave little heed to tornado watches. They had always believed they were safe.
The old-timers always told us a tornado, is highly unlikely because you got mountains to each side. What it'd probably do that the tornado, if it come on any side of the mountain, would bounce and go over, like a skip in a rock.
The old-timers and residents like Jim Woody, whose injuries landed him in a halo brace, were proven wrong. It's Sunday, November 10th, 2002. 33-year-old Donna Woody and her husband Jim are at the cemetery near Mossy Grove, attending the funeral of Donna's uncle.
This was one of the uncles that I'd spent a lot of time with when I was younger, and I was with him the night he died, and so it was kind of, started out a bad day.
Jim and Donna both grew up in the Tennessee countryside. 4 months ago, Jim, a 36-year-old painter, had moved his family from the nearby town of Annandale to Mossy Grove. He, Donna, and their 3 children fell in love with the town's easy hospitality.
Kids feel at home, there's kids to play with, and just comfortable surroundings. Everybody gets along with everybody. Parents go out, pitch horseshoes or cook out together.
This afternoon, the skies are clear and sunny over Mossy Grove, but around 2:30 p.m., a strong breeze picks up as the Woodies leave the cemetery. 10 miles north, in the town of Lansing, 26-year-old Mike Williams Jr. is just getting home. He greets his wife, Kim, before heading back outdoors. For him, the mild fall weather means a lot of hard work. His father, Michael Williams Sr., has been landscaping their house for weeks and shows no signs of stopping.
My dad was outside working, cutting down some trees and stuff. Every time I come home, he's working, man, and I come home from the week working, and I try to hide from him because that's all he wants to do is work all the time. He'll work you to death.
47-year-old Michael Williams Sr. is a tough but respected prison guard at the state penitentiary. After he finishes the yard work, he drives back to his home in Mossy Grove. He and Mike's mother are divorced, but remain good friends. In fact, Mike's mother Brenda plans to spend that evening in Mossy Grove with her former mother-in-law, 73-year-old Margie Williams.
The whole family stayed close with me when me and Michael divorced, which me and Michael was best friends.
At nightfall, Brenda arrives at Margie's door. She has a strange sense that something bad is about to happen.
This feeling inside of me, I don't know what it was just like, I don't want to go over there. And then even after I got there, I kept wanting to say, Margie, let's go to my house, but I didn't say it to her because she was wanting to be at home.
Brenda doesn't know it, but a rare outbreak of 82 tornadoes is occurring across the southeastern United States.
So we are going to see double trouble.
Strong jet stream winds are pushing cold air above warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico, creating a line of severe thunderstorms.
Get it off the ground, Lord.
Come on, let's go downstairs.
40 tornadoes have already been spotted in 10 states.
This just in, the National Weather Service in Morristown has issued a tornado warning.
At 6:26 p.m., the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning for Morgan and Scott counties in East Tennessee.
Take cover now. If you wait until you see or hear it coming, it may be too late to get in a safe place.
Minutes later, a twister is spotted near Rugby, Tennessee. It is the first of 11 tornadoes that will develop over the next 4 hours. It's now 7:30 p.m., and the Woody family is heading home after a long day. They've spent the afternoon at a post-funeral reception and are unaware of the tornado outbreak. Donna notices, however, that the wind is gaining strength.
The wind, sometimes, you'll be driving and your car will kind of move a little bit with the wind, and never thought anything about it. Just thought maybe a thunderstorm was coming through.
At 8:06 p.m., the National Weather Service identifies another twister 26 miles west of Mossy Grove. The Woodies reach their mobile home a few minutes later. They live on Grace Lane, just 1 block away from Margie Williams' house. Lightning flashes in the dark sky. Donna, a nursing student, studies for an exam while the 3 children get ready for bed. 11-year-old Quenton hops in the shower. Jim heads outside to watch the gathering storm.
I stepped out on the front porch smoking a cigarette, watching it lightning, because the lightning was fascinating because it was like a strobe light, but you didn't hear no thunder. You could see it, in the distance and everything. It was just running every which way.
I went out and told him, get back in the house before you get struck by lightning. So he come back in, and I got up and I opened the front door and I looked out, and the rain, the wind, things was just moving different.
Unnerved, Donna hovers in the doorway while Jim checks on Quenton.
Well, I went to check on the 11-year-old in the shower. My wife went outside.
Things just didn't feel right. The wind didn't sound right. The rain was crisscrossing. It was blowing in 2 different directions at one time. And the wind was blowing so hard that it was picking up gravels and kind of moving them around.
Donna realizes with horror that a tornado is headed their way. She races back inside and frantically herds together Quenton and her 2 other children, 13-year-old Sarah and 7-year-old Nate.
She hollered at everybody get in the bathroom.
My mom told me to turn off the water and get out of the shower. So she came in there and got me out and laid me down and got the others.
Quenton doesn't even have time to get dressed before his family piles into the bathroom.
The protection instinct kicked in. We've always been taught, you go to the center room of the house, and if you're in a mobile home, you go to the bathroom.
I turned and shut the door on the bathroom, and that's when the trailer started. You could hear stuff hitting the back. It sounded like rocks or rain or hail or something.
10 miles away in Lansing, Mike Williams Jr. is watching television with his wife Kim when their phone rings.
My wife's father called and said that there's a tornado on the way. He says, you guys need to get in shelter. So we jumped, turned the movie off, and we started watching the Weather Channel, and it was showing, all over Tennessee. It was just showing like red streaks all over the map, right around us.
Mike looks at the clock. It's 8:28 p.m. He calls his mother Brenda, who's visiting his grandmother Margie in Mossy Grove. Mike urges them both to hurry to the basement.
The tone of his voice did sound different, and I guess the reason I took him serious is because I had a bad feeling early on that day. So I guess the Lord just told me, getting down that basement.
Tried to call my dad, and I never did get no answer. I never even thought about calling the cell phone. So me and my wife, we grabbed us a couple blankets and a flashlight.
Mike and his wife take shelter at their Lansing home. Just then, back in Mossy Grove, a powerful twister with winds up to 175 miles per hour rises over Lone Mountain and plunges toward the valley. Ferocious winds begin to rock the Woody family's mobile home.
The trailer started shaking, and then it raised up like a hover, and about a foot, then it went back down.
For my kids, I was terrified. All 3 had a hold of each other. They were all holding hands. Me and their daddy was kind of laying on top of them.
Just thinking to myself, I said, we've made it through it. And then the trailer picked up, My little boy, the 11-year-old, screamed.
Within seconds, Mossy Grove's illusions of safety are forever blown away.
Things actually started flying and moving. I don't know if I passed out or if it knocked me out. But the last thing I told my kids was to pray.
Get in there now. Go. Get, go. Get in there.
Sunday, November 10th, 2002, 40 miles west of Knoxville, Tennessee. Around 8:30 p.m., an F3 tornado, the middle range of the Fujita rating scale, descends upon the small valley town of Mossy Grove. Brenda Williams heads to the basement with her son's grandmother, 73-year-old Margie Williams.
She sat in a rocking chair in front of a window, and I just told her, I said, Margie, get away from the window, come sit by me. And she said, honey, I'm not scared. And as soon as she got that out of her mouth, this roaring sound just come up like it come up out of the ground.
Within seconds, winds up to 175 miles an hour slam into the house.
The cinder blocks just started flying in at me, and I just grabbed my face, and it just knocked me down on the ground.
Cinder blocks pelt Brenda in the face and back. She hangs on to anything she can find as the tornado pulls her into the air.
Things were hitting me in the back, and I knew I was getting hurt, but I wasn't feeling no pain at the time. It just felt like it went on forever and ever. It's just a lot of things went through my mind, and I thought I was going to die.
1 block away, Jim and Donna Woody and their 3 children huddle inside their bathroom. The powerful wind lifts their mobile home like it's a toy.
I didn't know how bad it was going to be, if it was just going to tip the trailer over or, just disintegrate it.
Suddenly, the twister flips their trailer and rips off the roof. The entire family is sucked into the air, including 11-year-old Quenton, who is still naked after taking a shower.
Me and my brother, we flew together. We went this way. My dad and my mom and my sister went another way. I saw about 3 cars go around me. And then I saw a piece of rock come at me and hit my shoulder.
Quenton and his brother are thrown more than 100 yards. They lose consciousness as they hit the ground. Their parents and sister soar in the opposite direction, landing about 150 yards from their trailer.
I don't remember anything until we woke up in the field across the street from where we live. Honestly, I had no idea what had happened. I was in complete shock. I was wet. I was cold. I was hurting. I could barely move.
I couldn't raise my head, and I could hear people crying, people hollering, and I could just barely move my neck, and I could see flashlights.
Jim's back is broken. Donna is in shock, unable to move. Their 2 sons are nowhere in sight.
Stood up, and I tried to hold my head up. I couldn't hold my head up, so I was in like a hunkered down position with my hands on the knees. And I hollered for my wife. My wife answered me. I hollered for my daughter. She answered me. I hollered for my 11-year-old boy, Quenton, and my 7-year-old boy, Nate, and they never did answer me.
I was afraid that if I got up, I was afraid of what I would see. Because at the time, it was just black. You could see flashlights out the corner of your eye, people screaming. And I was just afraid of what I would see.
The tornado moves up the mountainside to a nearby town. In 1 short minute, it has destroyed Mossy Grove. Dozens of homes have been leveled. The injured are everywhere. Brenda Williams climbs through the debris of Margie's demolished house. She is badly hurt, and 73-year-old Margie Williams is nowhere to be seen.
Started crawling around trying to find Margie, but you couldn't see anything. You couldn't see nothing except when it lightened. And then when I saw those headlights coming down the road, I just kind of crawled till I could get out of there, and then I just took off running towards that car.
A carload of shaken survivors picks up Brenda, who is covered from head to toe with blood. On their way to seek medical help, they drive past the block where Brenda's ex-husband Michael Williams Sr. lives. His entire house has vanished.
I was hoping that he wasn't home. And when I went around through there, I saw his house gone. And I was just flipping out at that time.
10 miles away in Lansing, Mike Williams Jr. and his wife Kim emerge from their storm shelter. They have escaped nature's wrath, but Mike is worried about his family.
We went back inside and I had kind of a bad feeling about it. I called my mom and my dad to see if I could get a hold of them. And the phones would ring, but nobody ever answered.
Fearing the worst, Mike and Kim get in their car and drive toward Mossy Grove. But the danger in that town is far from over. The Woodies are still trying to find their 2 missing sons when a neighbor delivers some chilling news.
They said, we got to get you to the house up here, said there's another tornado coming. My wife said she could not move, and I said, honey, you're going to have to.
Jim, Donna, and 13-year-old Sarah help each other to their neighbor's house, which is badly damaged by the first tornado. Because of their injuries, Jim and Donna must lie down on the floor.
I can remember looking off to my left, and all I could think of was there's no roof on this house. And I can hear people screaming, take cover, there's another one coming. And I'm thinking, we're dead.
You look up and there's half a roof gone. You're wondering how much, can it take? Can it take another one? Or is the second one going to be worse than the first one?
Jim and Donna wait in terror with their daughter, knowing that their 2 boys are still out there, somewhere, in the demolished town of Mossy Grove.
These are my life. I had one, but there was 2 missing, and I had no idea if I'd ever see them again, if they'd be dead or alive.
It's about 8:40 p.m. on Sunday, November 10th, 2002. A second tornado is reportedly headed for the already ravaged community of Mossy Grove, Tennessee. Rescue workers scramble to help Jim and Donna Woody, who are taking shelter in their neighbor's house.
You hear them hollering, there's another one coming, there's another one coming. Is it going to hit right here? Is it going to be on up the road?
Thankfully, this tornado never arrives. It was a frightening false alarm. Jim, Donna, and their daughter are brought to a makeshift emergency center. Their 2 sons, Quenton and Nate, are still missing.
This guy asked me, he says, is there anything I can do for you? I said, I'm missing 2 boys. And it seemed like 10, 15 minutes went by. And he said, Mr. Woody, this voice come back, and he said, Mr. Woody, I got a present for you.
Amazingly, after being thrown more than 100 yards by the twister, Quenton and Nate are alive and unharmed.
The boys are miracles. They're beautiful. They're my babies.
I was very fortunate, and I felt, overwhelmed that I had my boys with me. I said, I got another chance to, be a father.
But other families are far less fortunate. Mike Williams Jr. drives to Mossy Grove, where he finds his mother Brenda at an ambulance site. Then a family friend delivers some devastating news.
He just come up and he hugged me, and he started crying, and he never even had to say nothing. I just knew right there, I've lost my dad.
Mike's grandmother Margie has perished as well. In total, the tornado has claimed 5 lives in Mossy Grove.
The Lord has given me strength through this. That's the only way I'm getting through, because I feel really hurt deep inside. It's just I have to be strong for Mikey.
In the days after the tornado, Mossy Grove begins the slow process of rebuilding. The Woody family now lives in a brand new house donated to them by friends. Though Mossy Grove has proven vulnerable to the elements, this is one family that plans to stay.
That's the neighborhood we want to be in. That's the area. My kids love that neighborhood, and we knew we had to go back.
Where is the safest place to take shelter in a mobile home during a tornado? The answer may surprise you. More on that when Storm Stories continues. So where is the safest place to take shelter in a mobile home during a tornado? The answer? There is no safe place. Mobile homes are not fixed to the ground like framed houses, so they're much less stable. If you live in a mobile home and a tornado warning is issued, you must leave immediately. Run to the nearest framed house or building. Go inside and take shelter in the lowest level. If you can't get indoors, try to lie in a ditch away from sources of debris and protect your head and neck with your arms. For Storm Stories, I'm meteorologist Jim Cantore. Your local forecast is next.